Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us here on AccuWeather Weekend. I'm meteorologist Damian Lotus. As we head throughout your Sunday, I'm tracking big changes here to some areas, including some snowfall and an update on some tropical activity that will be impacting portions of Cuba. But first, let's go and get you started off with a look at our satellite and radar here across the lower 48. And once again, it looks like it's going to be a tale between two halves of the United States. If you live across the east, once again, high pressure is going to dominate the forecast, bringing lots of sunshine, warmer and windier weather. The good news is that is definitely going to help out with the recovery efforts here from both hurricanes Helene and Milton. However, as you look across the west, we still have this area of low pressure churning across the four corners. That is once again going to kick off a chance of showers and snowfall, even some thunderstorms as we head into this evening. But it does look like the heaviest rainfall we'll see today is going to be across the Pacific Northwest here as we head into this evening. We'll see some onshore flow moving in, so we'll see some heavy flooding rainfall possible here across these areas, including some heavy snow in the higher elevations. But other than that, here it's going to be all about that area of low pressure across the four corners. Now on the backside, once again, it is going to be pulling in comfortable and cooler air to some areas that have seen a lot of heat so far this year, so that's some good news. But it's also going to bring, once again, a chance of showers and, yes, some of that snowfall across the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountains. But it is also going to kick off a threat of severe weather as we head into this evening. Here's your updated storm zone, and yes, we will see any storms that form in this area or move into this area will be capable of producing some small hail, some strong winds, and yes, even a low tornado threat. So we'll be watching out on the eastern portions of New Mexico, and we're also going to be watching out for portions of the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles as we head throughout this afternoon and as we head into this evening. In addition to that, that area of high pressure is going to bring some strong winds on the eastern shores of Florida, so we could see some coastal flooding with higher tides here as we head throughout this afternoon and this evening. But once again, it's all about this persistent area of high pressure across the East Coast, bringing lots of sunshine and warmer weather. And speaking of warmer weather, we're going to see temperatures about 15 to 20 degrees above historical averages here across the northern plains into the Great Lakes as we head into this afternoon. So some record high temperatures will be challenged here for today. But temperatures this afternoon, we'll see some cooler weather across the Rockies. But other than that, we'll see a mix of 60s, 70s, and even some 80s here for this afternoon. So overall, especially across the East Coast, everything's going to be A-OK. Now, our top story is the continuation of hurricane season. Now, across the Southeast, thousands are still picking up the pieces after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. Now, for some communities, recovery is going to take months, but we are watching another hurricane currently. That's Oscar, which formed yesterday near Hispaniola, and it's still intensifying. So the storm will bring rain, wind, and storm surge to the Caribbean. So let's go ahead and begin you and get you started off here with that tropical forecast to see just what's happening right now with Oscar. So Oscar right now is maintaining as a hurricane. It has sustained winds at 80 miles an hour. It is slowly starting to see those outer bands move onshore there on the northeast coast of Cuba, and we are going to see a lot of heavy rainfall for some of these areas. But the good news is, at least here for the United States, the orientation of the jet stream is kind of caught right in between this area of high pressure and this area right here of lower pressure. So what that's going to do, that's going to steer the jet stream down to the south, and that dip is going to steer Oscar away from the U.S. and including Florida. So that's going to be some good news. So if you're AccuWeather exclusive iPath, you can see that it's going to slowly start to get shifted up to the northeast here over the next 24 hours. It will make landfall, it looks like, as a Category 1 here at 5 p.m. this evening on Sunday. So we will be watching this because strong winds and heavy rainfall will primarily be the main threats. And you can see here as it comes on shore, strong winds causing power outages and heavy rainfall causing mudslides will be an issue here as we head throughout this afternoon and as we head throughout this evening. So we will be watching this very carefully. But other than that, we're still watching the recovery efforts from Helene and Milton. And once again today, high pressure is going to dominate the forecast, so sunny skies, yes, some breezy winds, but temperatures are going to be warm and mild here across this region as we head throughout today. But I also want to point out just how dry it's been and how dry it's going to stay here as we head throughout the next couple of days. Take a look at this. This is the percentage of rainfall compared to normal over the past 30 days across the southeast. Now, the areas that were impacted by both Helene and Milton, yes, those areas are well above their rainfall with record-setting rain from those hurricanes. However, those areas that were not impacted by the hurricanes, they have been bone dry here across the southeast. and it's going to stay that way because look at this. This is the total rainfall recorded over just the past 7 days, and you can see right here a whole lot of nothing, a couple sprinkles here or there, but overall it has been dry over the past 7 days, and it's going to stay dry here looking forward. This is our future track rainfall between Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and you can see some showers across the east coast of Florida, but other than that, maybe a couple of showers there along the east coast, but it's primarily just going to stay bone dry here across this region here as we head throughout the next 24, 48, even 72 hours with little to no rainfall. So for some areas, they've already seen the driest start ever to the month of October, but we're going to see those drought conditions continue to intensify here across this region. So for Sunday afternoon, it's going to stay dry with that area of high pressure dominating the forecast. Some showers, some rumbles of thunder here coming onshore across the east coast of Florida, but overall, it looks like it's going to stay warm and it's going to stay dry here as we head throughout the next 24 hours. So for this afternoon, you see highs, lots of sunshine on this map, by the way. We'll see highs a mix of 70s and 80s, mid to upper 80s for central and southern parts of Florida, with that humidity starting to creep back up here for this region. As we head into tonight, we'll still see some chillier conditions here for some of the areas, but overall the forecast is going to be nice here as we head into early parts of next week. Let's go ahead and check in right now with Melissa and Bree with a look at the big three.
Damian, we've got a couple different stories for you lined up in our big three. One of the big ones, at least this weekend, as we've gone through the late week, has been this autumn storm through the western U.S. that's brought the rain, the snow, and even the thunderstorms.
And
take a look at it.
Slow to go, too, Melissa.
Yes, we are finally seeing it die out as we head through Sunday and into Monday, but all the while still producing some of those rain showers, mountain snow, and like I said, even the thunderstorms.
The thunderstorms that could turn a little strong, even some severe weather. We're not going to rule that out as we head throughout Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. That's really going to be across eastern New Mexico. That's going to be the zone that we're focusing here on, with the flooding downpours continuing. Hail not ruled out. We cannot rule that out. And a few isolated tornadoes or spin-ups also could be on the table as well, Melissa.
And now a lot of thunderstorms have gusty winds, but these could have some damaging winds as we head throughout the day and into the night. Meanwhile, in the northwest, there's a whole different storm system here.
Yeah, but we're tapping into that atmospheric river, and you know what happens when we do so. Lots of water, lots of rain unleashed across parts of the west, and this time we're focusing on the Pac Northwest, Vancouver Island, even the Olympics. You could see a good dosing of rain there as we head throughout the rest of our Sunday. Even not going to rule out some mountain snow as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's some ski resorts in Canada. It's starting to get a little excited there from that. Meanwhile, in the northeast, no sign of snow, no sign of rain, just dry and bright. Good, maybe bad if you're worried about drought, but I think a lot of us that want to get outside, pretty good.
Yeah, if you want to be outside, and especially even for those recovery efforts that we were talking about earlier on, Melissa, the high pressure going to maintain its control over the region. High is going to be running well above our historical averages. 75 in Pittsburgh, rinse and repeat in New York City today. Further south, 78 in Washington, D.C. and 77 in Richmond.
And many numbers head to the 80s tomorrow, like New York City. So the Monday starts off warm, Tuesday is warm. All of a sudden this front comes in Wednesday, but if you're excited about rain, you probably shouldn't be.
Now, it doesn't have a lot of moisture packed on it, so while the front is going to be pushing east Wednesday into Wednesday night, yes, bringing some light showers to the interior northeast, but a lot of us staying dry as we head into the middle of the week.
Yeah, one thing that will come behind this, though, cool air. We'll see those numbers tank for the midweek.
Yeah, but before we get there, hot across the north central states, really from the plains to the Great Lakes. We're tracking above average historical average temperatures. It is going to be breezy, so of course when you get the warmer air, you get the drier air, you get the winds picking up. We cannot rule out that fire weather threat.
Yeah, but the warm times continue Tuesday. We'll be challenging records in some locations, especially this week. Places like Alpena, Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie in Upper Michigan. It's a mild time. So if you're trying to view that fall color, just watch out. The wind will knock down the leaves, but also you probably won't need too many layers.
No, not in the short term. In the long term, you're going to have to add them back again. Maybe. I mean, we're dropping down a little bit there. Fargo to the mid-70s, down to the mid-60s there by Tuesday. Chicago, you'll see a slight drop in the mercury there. starting off the week in the 80s, back down to the 70s by Tuesday.
Yeah, it's all about what season you want to be in, what you like. You can take your pick here, but we've got it all in the big three. Back to you, Damien.
All right, thank you so much. Here's a look at your airport delays currently right now as we head into your Sunday afternoon. The good news is, for the most part, we're good. Starting to see some non-weather related delays in LaGuardia and parts of New York. That's more of a volume issue, a traffic issue, than it is a weather issue. So we'll be tracking that. And then as we head throughout today, we could see some minor delays for a couple areas, including Miami with some showers, Denver with some showers, even some flurries in the Rockies, and then Seattle will see some minor delays with some heavy rainfall. But the good news is, as we head throughout the next 5 days, anytime you get less than 100, you know that's going to be calm and quiet weather, and that's exactly what we're going to see here as we head throughout this week. Now, if you would like to help those impacted by recent hurricanes, you can donate to the American Red Cross. All you have to do is just go to redcross.org/AccuWeather. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Red Cross, one word, to 90999.